I don't think we can save South Africa anymore. I don't think they need to be saved. I don't think they want to be saved. So it is time, Africa, we cut them off. It is time we just let them be. They are no more part of us. They are no more our brothers and sisters. I mean, that's what they have been asking for. That's what they have been crying for all this while. So let's just let them be. Because I think and I believe now that this whole xenophobia attack to the South Africa country, it is really true. It is really, really, really true. First, I didn't believe this whole xenophobia attack. But from what has happened so far, from the happenings, it's safe to say that it is really true. Because let me understand, try to convince me. After everything that has happened concerning this whole xenophobia attacks, going through unlawful ways to deport people from your country, to harass, embarrass, disrespect, loot people's businesses, destroy people's livelihoods in your country, there hasn't been on the news feed from your country where there is a level of regret or remorse coming from the people of South Africa, coming from the citizens of South Africa. And what is worst is also same coming from their government. I mean, their government is not trying to even apologize, to even be diplomatic enough and try what communicate to the rest of Africa that they are not in support of what their people are doing. Meanwhile, they are going about doing damage control. I mean, in their international reputation, damage control. That's what they are doing. That's what their government is doing. So I say again that they cannot be saved. They don't want to be saved. We should just leave them be. We should just cut them off. They are not part of us anymore. And it is because of what they are doing, what the people of South Africa are doing to African nationals. I believe there's a level of self-hatred in them. They don't like the black or dark skin color. They don't like we Africans. They don't like us. So we should also give them the same energy. We should also give them the same energy. This video is going to prove what I'm saying now. This video is going to prove what I'm saying now. What I'm saying now. Because let me understand why South Africa, you start pushing an agenda, a propaganda against Ghana. What did Ghana do to you guys? What did we do to you guys? Unfortunately for us, we've gotten some of our people in your country who are trying to make a living in your country, who are doing their businesses and maybe on tour in your country or doing something in your country, which is not wrong, which is not unlawful. And even if somebody in your country, a Ghanaian citizen, is doing something unlawful in your country, this is not the way to go about it. You don't have the right to kill people or take people's lives just like that. I go by the name Niama, and this is New News and Trends. And on today's episode, we are going to react to a video by Tutum Network, Mr. Saros Annan, where a South African news station, broadcasting station, did a news item where they were saying that there's an Ebola outbreak in Ghana here, and a Ghanaian living in South Africa corrected them, how to bring to their attention that but it's never true, and they have to come back the next day or so to take back their words or take back that news item and let the whole world know that indeed it was a false news item they put out. If you're a person come across this content and you find value with it, you know what I do, and you would want to support. The only way you can support me is by hitting the subscribe button, liking and sharing the video, and also coming to the comment section and we vibe in the comment section. Also, I would want this video to get 100 likes. So after hitting the subscribe button, also do remember to like the video too. It will go a long way to help me and help this channel. let's jump right into today's episode.
The biggest TV network in South Africa, which is state-owned, which is watched by about 90% of South Africans every day, what they tried to say was, Ghana have reduced our consumption of fresh produce because Ebola cases in Ghana has affected 2,300 Ghanaians and 930 Ghanaians have died or recorded dead already.
This is totally false. Number one, Ebola outbreak was some few years ago. It may be a decade ago, and I don't think even Ghana recorded an Ebola case back then. I don't remember Ghana recording an Ebola case back then. It was the neighboring countries around us who recorded cases of Ebola. But for Ghana, I don't think we recorded an Ebola case. I may be wrong, but I don't remember we recording Ebola case. And also number two, Ebola or foodstuffs is not the cause of Ebola, or contaminated foodstuffs is not the cause of Ebola. I think if I should quite remember, Ebola is from animals, right? The bats and the chimpanzees and the apes we were eating back then, or we are still eating, right? And it's and no, I believe and I think me, I've been eating bats before, but I know people who have eaten some before. We call it ampine here, like the tree dialect, they call it ampine. And friends and people, relatives who have tasted the bat, they say it's nice, right? I think it's not wrong to eat bats or to eat animals. Like God won't have created them for our consumption, right? But it may happen that at that point, the bats, maybe we are doing something or maybe activities by humans. That's why the bats carry these diseases and sickness and we're infecting people with the Ebola the virus or disease or whatever it is, right? So I'm making it clear. Food items or fresh produce from the farms, I don't think it can be contaminated by or they don't carry the Ebola virus or disease. They are not the host or the what's the scientific word? They are not the host of the Ebola virus or disease, right? It is the animals, which is the bats and the apes, the monkeys and those animals, the bush animals. They were the ones who were the host of this Ebola virus. And as I said earlier, back then, a decade ago, a few years ago, I don't think even Ghana at that time we recorded such case in Ghana here. And currently now, we haven't recorded any case of Ebola in Ghana here too. So this is totally false. This is not true.
As to where they got this information from, nobody knows. These are the people who were accusing the Ghana High Commissioner to South Africa of spreading misinformation. And here they are caught doing misinformation. SABC, shame on you. And I'm saying shame.
I don't know if I've said this earlier, but as I said, or as I'm saying now, there's no level of regret or remorse or coming out with their chest like that. Oh, we are sorry for what our people are doing to your people. I mean, the government of South Africa. But rather, they are pushing blames and accusing people, going about doing damage control. They are trying to save face their international reputation. That's what they are doing, which isn't the right thing to do, right? If you wrong a friend, if you wrong a brother, the first thing or the right thing to do is to just say what? Say sorry. Especially if you want to maintain the peace or what? Maintain the friendship or relationship between you guys. You just say sorry. You just become remorseful and regret your actions and just say what? I didn't do it well. It wasn't my intention. It wasn't deliberate. So I'm sorry. And ask for forgiveness. And we move on. But you guys are doing the opposite. So if I should conclude that, well, from what is happening, from what you guys are doing, then that means you guys support what your people are doing. Indeed, you guys are xenophobic or a xenophobia people or country. Indeed, you guys don't like Africans. I think it's safe to say that, right?
On you, because it did not take you to correct yourself, which means you did it on purpose. It took a Ghanaian to make you correct yourself. Shame on you. Your propaganda is shameful and it's stinky. Stop it.
So I've done a video where it was highlighting Ghana leading ECOWAS against South Africa to what, to call South Africa to what is the word, to kind of call South Africa to what, to do the right thing, or to the right. So I believe, I don't understand why it's only Ghana who South Africa has choose to come at, right? I don't understand why, because number one, first and foremost, you guys said you don't want our people in your country, and our government came with what, with planes, with a transport to what, to convey our people from your country back to our country. In doing so, we didn't break any law. We were very diplomatic in doing so. We were very respectful to your laws. We passed through all the right channels to what, to take our people from your country to our country. After doing that too, I don't think our government has sat anywhere or has come to the news, to the socials, or has put in any news item that you guys are this or that, or like accusing you guys of something which is not true. Whatever our government has putting out is the fact, right? And there was this case where it was trending that our government says they don't accept President Ramaphosa of South Africa, right? And that he wanted to pay Ghana a state visit, and our government was like, no, this is not the right time. And then South Africa came back and were like, no, that's not the case. It all started, or it is a bilateral agreement they had with our previous government, which was the MPP government led by our former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and they had an agreement that during this time or period, their government or their president will be paying us a visit, and ours will also be paying them a visit, like a bilateral agreement, right? Well, if even that is the case, and maybe we misinformed our people or the rest of the world, I think we are also in the right to say that, okay, this is not the right time to have such what or to control with such what agenda, right? We understand your government has had an agreement with our previous government to do that during this period, right? But our government, assessing the whole situation, assessing the whole thing that's happening, says, well, it is true, but this is not the right time. We should reschedule, right? We should reschedule, or we should just see how we'll control what's happening, or find a solution to what's happening, how we resolve this whole situation among our people, among the two countries, among the two governments. And after that, we can continue with whatever initiative or agenda or bilateral agreement we have had in the past. I think we are in the right for our government to say that, right? I don't think it's wrong for our government to say that.
This is shameful. This is diabolical. South Africa, you are making your case worse. You need to stop the propaganda. You won't win. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cyrus. This is Tumtum Network in Accra, Ghana. Stay with us. This topic is funny. It is interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what the South African Broadcasting Corporation, SABC, just did 2 days ago on a news report targeted at Ghana, ladies and gentlemen? While the news was airing, while the news was broadcasting, when the broadcaster was still speaking on live TV, the SABC network deliberately placed a news scroll at the bottom of the screen that read, consumers cutting back on fresh produce on top. And then below it, they wrote, Ghana Ebola cases rise to 2,300 and 930 deaths. Ladies and gentlemen, that just happened. So essentially, what the biggest TV network in South Africa, which is state-owned, which is watched by about 90% of South Africans every day, what they tried to say was, Ghana have reduced our consumption of fresh produce because Ebola cases in Ghana has affected 2,300 Ghanaians, and 930 Ghanaians have died or recorded dead already. This is what they just did. And ladies and screenshot of their publication on SABC. As to where they got this information from, nobody knows. These are the people who were accusing the Ghana High Commissioner to South Africa of spreading misinformation, and here they are caught doing misinformation. Then, as usual, a Ghanaian by name Joe Enim discovered the report and screenshot it in a Facebook post. You know how Ghanaians are quick to watch anything connected to Ghana, right? Yeah, that is what happened. In fact, there are many channels of Africans and Westerners on the internet right now that have come to the realization that the one strategy you can also use is by using the name of Ghana, either the flag of Ghana or the name of Ghana, and you are sure to have your views go up. So this Ghanaian guy, seeing the name of Ghana, made him want to watch, and he brought it up, and the thing went viral. And it came to the attention of the government of Ghana, which made SABC retract their posts because there isn't any truth to it. There isn't anything as such. There is no recorded case of Ebola in Ghana. There is no record of 2,300 Ghanaians affected by Ebola or 930.
So where did they get that information from? As I said earlier, some few years ago when Ebola broke out in the western part of Africa, I don't think Ghana even recorded an Ebola case back then. And recently now too, I haven't heard from anywhere that there's a new Ebola outbreak in any western country in Africa. I haven't heard of such. So where they get that news or information from to even what put it out there on a state broadcasting news operation, and they didn't even cross-check. They didn't even find the time to cross-check and see if the information they're going to put out is even true or not. So this is safe to say that this is an agenda they are trying to push. They are doing their best, right, to also try and dent our reputation. I mean, our international reputation, right? The Ghanaian international reputation. They are trying to put a stain to it. And they, sorry to say, they are even dumb in even doing so. They are even dumb in even doing so. Because if I may be wrong, but I don't remember. But during the Ebola outbreak, or even I haven't seen anywhere that food produce or fresh produce from our farms or from farms is the host which carries the Ebola virus or disease or bacteria or whatever it is. And if that's the case, that means they're even dumb in even putting out such a thing out there.
Ghanaians recorded dead because of Ebola. Ladies and gentlemen, that's purely fake news from South Africa. It's not true. It's a lie. Take a look at their retraction video.
SABC News incorrectly attributing Ebola statistics to Ghana. In our news scroll that is at the bottom of your screen, this happened during a broadcast last night. Well, SABC News says it regrets the error and apologizes for any distress or inconvenience caused. To clarify, according to Ghana's Ministry of Health, these are the facts. Ghana has not recorded any case of Ebola virus. The Minister of Health, Kwaben Minta Akando, recently visited the points of entry as well as laboratories and treatment facilities as part of Ghana's routine.
Wait, honestly speaking, the news council has now been mentioning the name of our health minister very, very properly. Like, he really mentioned the name as it is, right? It wasn't as but he did well, right? I mean, the tonation and the accent, like, it sounds completely right or correct, right? So he has done well, but shameful to them too. Shameful to them for putting out such statements or newsfeed about Ghana. What are they seeking to achieve in doing such a thing? What is their agenda? What is the end goal of to do such a thing?
In preparedness efforts meant to strengthen the country's readiness to prevent and respond to any potential public health emergency. The proactive measures do not indicate an Ebola outbreak once again in Ghana.
It's just unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen, that just when Ghana is dragging the South African government to AU to answer for their oversight on xenophobic attacks on African migrants in South Africa, things like these begin to raise their heads.
Yeah, right.
It is unfortunate. It is so unfortunate that just when we set the precedent by evacuating our people from South Africa, which made other African countries follow suit, and the South African government, feels salty and they hate it. Just when Ghana did this, that was when, the same time, when this publication is showing up on South African state-owned TV.
In my previous video, I did about Ghana leading the charge against South Africa over against their government, especially over the oversight of what their people are doing to other other African nationals in their country. I said in the video that Ghana is not a country you would want to pick a fight with, especially when it's not military and it's more of like diplomacy and all that. Ghana is not a country to pick a fight with, right? And I'm saying it again. South Africa won't take a break. You guys should just like. I think the best way or the best thing for you guys to do now is for your government, first and foremost, for your government to come out, or for your people to come out and apologize to the rest of Africa. I think it's just simple as that. To just apologize to the rest of Africa. I think this city, I still believe in your cause of sacking away illegal immigrants out of your country. I still believe in that cause. But how you guys did it and how you guys are still doing it, that's not the right thing to do. And you guys can just come out and be like, well, we are still standing on our 10 toes and pushing our agenda of me sacking illegal people out of our country. But in doing so, we didn't pass through the right channels or pathways to carry out such an agenda or initiative. So we are sorry. We are very sorry. We are pleading on you guys to just forgive us. But we are still standing 10 toes on what we believe in. I think it's just simple as that. And most, if not everyone, most people from the rest of these African countries who understand you guys, because immigration problems is not only it's not a South African thing. It's all over the world. In Ghana, yeah, we are also suffering from the same problem, right? We have the Nigerians and Nigerians trooping in our country. We have other Western countries, nationals trooping in our country illegally. They are going through the illegal routes and all that. They are also suffering from that same problem. So it's not a South African thing. In the West, they are suffering from the same thing. People are traveling on boats, on canoes, on rafts, crossing the Mediterranean Sea into Europe. So it's not a South African thing.
It's deeply unfortunate that a state-owned television broadcaster, without conducting proper research or basic fact-checking, chose to air such inaccurate information. Some describe it as deliberate.
It's very deliberate.
Others believe they did it in the hope that something may stick. But from where I stand, ladies and gentlemen, it appears to be both. They feel humiliated because of what Ghana is doing to them at the AU level, how diplomatic and strategic we are in peeling their skin from off their body. It hurts their image, and they may be looking for ways to pay us back in some way, shape, or form. That is what they are trying to do. They are rather looking for something to hold on to. Ladies and gentlemen, South Africa don't need all that smoke or drama from Ghana. What they actually need is a change of government.
Mr. Soros, you've said it. You've really hit the nail on its head. It's true. At this point, Ghana, we are not even concerned about what's happening in South Africa. Like, I don't think Ghanaians are into this whole thing where we are like, yo, we are going to fight or we are going to come against South Africa. Most Ghanaians don't even care about what's happening. I mean, in terms of this whole thing that you guys are trying to push, this whole agenda, you are trying to come against us and like air falsehood and put out false information about us and all that. I don't think most Ghanaians even our governments are into it that much. When we Ghanaians, when we come out with our full wrath, yo, South Africa, you guys will be doomed. Honestly speaking, you guys will be doomed. Go ask Nigeria. And even with Nigeria, it's even a friendly battle we are doing. And they can't even still stand it. We are beating them in any aspect, in all aspects, even when it is a friendly banter. And if we should come to you guys with a with a serious hatred kind of banter or smoke against you guys, bro, trust me, you guys won't survive it. Trust me.
Let me say this for the 1000th time. No situation in South Africa will ever change. Unemployment levels will never change. Crime won't change. Rape cases, it won't change. Nothing is going to change in that country so long as the ANC government is still in charge. It is like doing the same thing every time and hoping the outcome changes. That's never going to happen. So long as the country is in the hands of the ANC government, there is no policy they can come up with or structures they can put in place that can make any difference. And if you still think that I'm not being truthful with what I'm saying, ask yourself this simple question. Why has nothing changed in the last 33 years since the ANC government took over? Ask yourself that question. If these guys could make any difference, why haven't they achieved all of that since they took over from the apartheid government in 1994? Julius Malema, ladies and gentlemen, once said it best, and I paraphrase him. Malema once said, the ANC government didn't fight for power because they wanted to help their fellow South African to get better. No, they wanted power. The ANC government wanted power from the apartheid government because they envied the privileges and the powers the apartheid government controlled and enjoyed in South Africa. They wanted to be in that position instead of the apartheid government to enjoy everything the apartheid government was enjoying. And that's exactly what they have done in the last 3 decades. If after 3 decades you are still crying for jobs and opportunities in your own country when your own black people are in control, maybe, ladies and gentlemen, South Africans, maybe it's time you rethink who those in leadership roles are. The government in leadership role, it's time you rethink it. And guess what? I needed to personally live in South Africa to understand what I'm sharing with you today. Internet research or from a textbook. I have been there and experienced it. The quality of the average life of a black South African, ladies and gentlemen, has been nosediving for a long time. I lived in their shacks. I stayed in their townships. I experienced at first hand how disconnected the people in the government are from those at the very bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, the big cities of South Africa, which the white people actually built, are beautiful. Super beautiful. They can compete with any major city in Europe on any metric in terms of infrastructure. But since that changeover happened in 1994, everything has been steadily falling apart. And there has been only one government, one entity in the center of it all this while. The African National Congress, ladies and gentlemen, the ANC government, they have been at the center of it all. They have lost touch with the plight of the people. They do not have the ideas that can transform the situation, and they wouldn't also let go of power. And so the country is caught up in a place of a standstill. Ghana is not your problem, South Africa.
Yeah,
Ghana is not your enemy. Ghana is only doing what is right for its people, just as you want to do what is right for your own people. The attention must therefore be focused on your government and not what Ghana is saying or doing. And I'm saying this to the black South African, ladies and gentlemen. All that I've said is to you, my fellow black people of South Africa. Focus your attention on your government because they have been the common denominator in all the problems you've had in your country from the beginning. SABC, shame on you.
Shame on you guys.
I'm saying shame on you because it did not take you to correct yourself, which means you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
It took a Ghanaian to make you correct yourself. Shame on you. Your propaganda is shameful.
What they even did was, it's even funny. It's even fun. Like, it's a low blow, right? And it's kind of way, like in some way, like put a dent. I mean, foreigners, right, who would like to come to our country to do business, to maybe come and tour, visit our tourist sites and all that, will not want to come because of the fear of what the Ebola virus, right? Bro, we've seen the direction of where you guys are wanted to take this thing to, but to what end? What are you guys going to gain from it? If Ghana is losing maybe business opportunities or business like investments into the country, right? or money into the country through this through like people coming into the country. How is it going to benefit you guys? That means you guys to just admit and accept that, well, we did wrong, then no, we'll also put you guys down. Bro, are we the ones who told you guys to start attacking African nationals in your country? No. You guys said don't want us in your country. Not only us, but the rest of Africa in your country. We were the first to come to your country and take our people away from your country. Without what? Without throwing some jabs, or like without doing anything what? Unlawful. We did what is best for our people. So where did we go wrong? Where did Ghana go wrong?
And it's stinky. Stop it. It will take you nowhere. It will take you nowhere. Focus on the things that are actually important. And I'll end here by saying this. Everything the South African government's communication machinery has been doing so far has been consistent, ladies and gentlemen. They never want people to come, to the realization that the problems of South Africa are not with foreigners, but with the government itself. If the government were doing what's right, listen, if the government were doing what's right, listen, if they were doing what's right, undocumented migrant problems could have been controlled. Unemployment among black South Africans would have been properly managed. The spike in crime cases could have been confronted by the ants. So, South Africans, what I'm saying to you is focus on where your real problems are coming from and deal with that. Leave Ghana alone. My name is Cyrus, and thanks for watching till the end. Be sure to subscribe for more of such content. I'll see you in the next one. It is bye-bye for now.
Do go subscribe to Tuntun Network by Mr. Sarasanan, and also remember to hit the subscribe button of this channel to get back-to-back content just like this and other content from this channel. Remember also to hit the like button. I want to get 100 likes from this video. So to do that, please share the video to those who would need to see this video, right? Share it to your friends and relatives, right? And also come to the comment section. Let's buy. I go by the name Niyama, and this is New News. Hope to catch you on the next episode. Thank you. I'm out.